I would first like to acknowledge our virtual participants with us here this morning. We have the district collectors from our different ports, 17 collection districts, starting, of course, with Manila International Container Port, who will be joining us this morning. Collector Romeo Alan Rosales.
Stay there,
From the Port of
ready.
Manila, we have District Collector Michael Angelo E.C. Vargas. Together with them, the POM and the MICT are the Formal Entry Division heads, chiefs. And next, we also have from the Port of San Fernando, District Collector, Attorney Romalino G. Valdez. From the Port of Naiya, we have District Collector Carmelita M. Talusan. From the Port of Batangas, we have District Collector Attorney Maria Vieja M. Greco. From the Port of Legazpi, we have District Collector Arsenia C. Lagan. From the Port of Iloilo, we have Collector Siriaco D. Ugay. From the Port of Cebu, we have Attorney Charlito Martin R. Mendoza. From the Port of Tacloban, we have District Collector Attorney Francis T. Tolibas. From the Port of Surigao, we have Collector Noli P. Santua. From the Port of Cagayan de Oro, we have District Collector John M. Simon. From the Port of Zamboanga, we have also Collector Segundo Sigmund Fred G. Butarte Jr. We have also from the Port of Davao, District Collector Attorney Erastus Sandino B. Austria. From the Port of Subic, we have District Collector Marites P. Martin. From the Port of Clark, we have OIC Leonora Cavile. From the Port of Apari, we have Collector Arianito M. Gaviria. From, of course, also the Port of Limay, we have Attorney William Balayo. Also in attendance, of course, are the Deputy Collectors for Assessment of the 17 collection districts, its Formal Entry Division Chiefs, Assessment Chiefs, and Section Chiefs. And as we start, may I request all our Zoom participants, our virtual participants, to please turn on your cameras and videos. We will be starting in a moment. Please request everyone to please stand for the opening prayer to be followed by the Philippine National Anthem.
Hintay natin. Hindi na.
We gather here today for the Anti-Corruption Manifesto signing of the Bureau of Customs. We pray that we are ever mindful of opportunities to render our genuine and excellent service to our fellow. Keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas, and things upon which future generations may work with confidence. Let us continue to strive to make a better world for all tribes, race, religion, and color. Let this be our fervent prayer to our Creator.
Ayan. Meron na.
Alam ng puso sa pilit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka lang mahimik. Sa manlulupin, di ka masisigil. Sa nagagang putok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw. Ay hinatang tula, kawin sa pagkayang minamahal. Hinatang matawan mo'y tagumpay na nag-iingin. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan ang ay mag-iingin. Lumang ang araw ng walhagin pagsingka. Huwag langit sa piling mo. Ang hinigaya na pagkay mga akin. Ang mamatay
may now take your seats. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Anti-Corruption Manifesto signing of the Bureau of Customs, led by the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission. Live here in the Office of the Commissioner Conference Room, Bureau of Customs, South Harbor Port Area, Manila, via Zoom and Facebook Live. I am DJ from the Public Information Office, and I'll be your host for this morning. Today's manifesto signing is a combined effort between the PACC and Bureau of Customs in pursuit of the Philippine President's directives to weed out corruption, enhance transparency, and commitment to public service. Before we proceed, may I first acknowledge our guests and officials joining us today, starting with the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission.
Sigurado din sila, sir.
Oh,
The Chairperson of the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission, we have Chairman Greco Antonius Beda Belgica. And will be joining us here today in a while. We have the Executive Director of the PACC, we have Fortunato Guerrero. And likewise, we have here Attorney Valdir Bringas from the PACC. We also acknowledge the presence of our Bureau of Customs officials, headed by the Bureau of Customs Commissioner Ray Leonardo B. Guerrero. Also in attendance, we have the Assistant Commissioner of the Bureau of Customs and the Head of Post-Clearance Audit Group. We have Attorney Vincent Philip C. Maronilla. Joining us here today are also our Deputy Commissioners. We have the Deputy Commissioner of the Assessment and Operations Coordinating Group, Attorney Edward James Debuco. Deputy Commissioner of Enforcement Group, Attorney Teddy Sanmirabal. Deputy Commissioner for Revenue Collection Monitoring Group, we have Attorney Bened Bakian. Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence Group, Daniel Tiramito. Deputy Commissioner for Internal Administration Group, Donato D. San Juan. Deputy Commissioner of Management Information System Technology Group, we have Deputy Commissioner Alan Hiroimo. We'd also like to acknowledge our virtual participants from the PACC and the Bureau of Customs, our district collectors, as mentioned a while ago, our service directors, BOC division chiefs, BOC officials, and personnel joining us this morning. Now, to give this message and to formally welcome us, may I call on the Bureau of Customs Commissioner, Ray Leonardo B. Guerrero.
To Commissioner Greco Belgica, the Chairman of the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission, Attorney Valdir Bringas of the PACC, other PACC officials, officials of the Bureau of Customs, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good morning. And welcome to the signing of the Bureau of Customs and the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission Anti-Corruption Manifesto. Today, we gather with our colleagues from the PACC as the Bureau of Customs takes another major step forward in our reform and transformation agenda. In pursuit of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte's directive to weed out corruption in government, the PACC has been relentless in providing the means and the measures to curtail corruption among government agencies, including the Bureau of Customs. Within the Bureau itself, our programs and actions have always put the fight against corruption on top of the list, because we know that the road to transformation requires that weak practices and illegal ways must be stopped for good. In 2020, the Bureau introduced its anti-corruption plan, which focuses on the implementation of preventive, punitive, and promotive measures on 6 lines of efforts. These cover information, security and intelligence, the engineering systems and processes, legal, legislative, and administrative functions of the agency. Our proactive stance has enabled significant developments, including the continuous investigation and filing of administrative cases before the Ombudsman, suspension, dismissal, reshuffling and relief of customs officials and personnel, the creation of the 8484 text hotline or the anti-corruption hotline of the Bureau of Customs, and the handling and resolution of complaints lodged through the 8888 Citizens Complaint Center. The latest innovation is the Customs Operations Center, another facility to ensure that processes and systems are efficient and also corruption-free. Equipped with various computer applications and communication systems, the new customs facility serves as a unified command and control center, ensuring 24/7 monitoring of delivery of customs services. With the signing of the Anti-Corruption Manifesto through the initiative of the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission, and in line with the measures taken through the Anti-Corruption Plan of the Bureau of Customs, the Bureau manifests its commitment to sustain the gains we have made against corruption practices within the organization. By so doing, we will be in a better position to perform with excellence in fulfilling our mandates of trade facilitation, revenue collection, and border protection. With determination, discipline, and teamwork, the Bureau of Customs will make every effort to abide by the guidelines of the Manifesto to stop corruption and serve with integrity at all times. Sa ating lahat, mabuhay tayo at muli ang aking pagbati sa ating Anti-Corruption Manifesto signing. Magandang umaga.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Guerrero, for the warm welcoming message and for discussing with us the initiatives, undertakings, measures that the BOC has pursued against corruption. At this juncture, may I have the honor and privilege to introduce our keynote speaker for today. He graduated from San Pedro University.
Video muna.
Before we proceed to our keynote speaker, may we first direct our attention to the LED display for a video presentation by the PACC.
Magandang araw sa lahat. Ang laban sa korupsyon ay matagal ng kampanya namin ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Kahit noong siya pa ay mayor ng Davao City, nakita na namin kung paano lumulubog ang lipunan kung ang korupsyon ay laganap. Kaya naman kasama ninyo kami ni Pangulong Duterte sa paglulungsad ng tokhang laban sa korupsyon. Project kasangga ng Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission, naniniwala kami na hindi uusad ang bansa hanggat laganap ang korupsyon. Dapat linisin na natin ito para naman maibsan ang problema ng ating bansa at matutukan na natin ang ating pag-unlad. Nagpapasalamat rin ako at patuloy ang inyong suporta sa aming kampanya kahit na may kinakaharap tayong krisis dulot ng COVID-19. Buhay pa rin ang ating layunin na iangat ang bansa sa mas magandang kinabukasan. Mabuhay kayong lahat at muli, mas paigtingin pa natin ang ating kampanya laban sa kriminalidad, iligal na droga at korupsyon. Maraming salamat po.
You know, in graft and corruption, whether it is 1 peso or 1,000, it's still the same. So, pagka itong tanginang graft na ito, pagka graft and corruption, diretso yan, dismissal. Kung sinong opisina nito nag-handle render the decision, kindly forward all of the papers to my office, to the executive secretary. At I do not agree with just suspension. Graft and corruption is dismissal. police, fireman, mayor's office, o mayor, governor, corruption is a serious offense. Ilagay mo, ibalik mo yan, suspended for 60 days. Magbakasyon lang yan, tapos maggagawa na naman kalukuhan. They should be removed. Basta, I would like to address now to all that sa gobyerno. Basta graft and corruption, dismissal talaga. Do not give me that shit of suspension. It's a very serious offense, and they're parang, you know, they're microbes in the organization, and they will continue to do it again and again until next time mahuli na naman sila another suspension, to which I do not agree. They should be dismissed. Maraming Pilipino sa labas naghahanap ng trabaho. Hindi ko kailangan itong mga... I do not need you in government.
Thank you very much to the PACC for the audiovisual presentation. And of course, we'd like to extend our appreciation, of course, to the message of Philippine Senator Bongo and with the participation, of course, of Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte. At this point, may I have the honor to introduce our keynote speaker for today. He graduated from San Beda University with a degree on Marketing and Commerce, finished his further education at the University of California in Berkeley for his postgraduate studies on International Trade and Commerce. In 2004, he was elected as a City Councilor of Manila at the age of 26. In 2018, he was appointed as Commissioner of the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission, and in the same year, the Federalismo ng Dugong Takilang Samahan, a national political party, was accredited, in which he serves as the founder and president. This year, he was appointed as the chairperson for the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission Chairperson, Greco Antonios D. Belica.
Thank you very much sa mga kasamahan ko sa gobyerno, sa Bureau of Customs. First and foremost, I would like to wish to recognize the efforts of the men and the women of the Bureau of Customs for the warm welcome and acceptance of our invitation on this very important milestone in the PACC's program and the program of the President in his campaign against corruption, in the fight against corrupt and corruption in all levels of government, and in the continuing pursuit of this administration's desire for good governance. So ko rin po munang batiin ang ating ginagalang Commissioner at Pinuno ng Customs, Commissioner Jagger Guerrero, sir. Magandang umaga po. At sa lahat po ng opisyal ng Bureau of Customs na narito, Deputy Commissioners, Assistant Commissioners, Bureau Collectors, Appraisers, Examiners, lahat po ng ating mga kasamahan sa pamahalaan. I would also like to recognize the online presence of my commissioners, co-commissioners in the Presidential Anti-Corruption who are here. Commissioner Yvette Contacto is online. Commissioner Danilo Yang is online. And Commissioner Rickson Chong is also online. And our Executive Director, General Attorney Fortunato Guerrero, is also online. Also, I'd like to recognize the presence of our directors for investigation, adjudication, and technical monitoring, Attorney Jem Villanueva, Attorney Irene Chu, Attorney Amilex Ricasa, and our admin head, Ms. Rich Quintos. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat, and my head executive assistant and head legal, Attorney Bobby Bringas, Gabriel Go, and everyone from the ACC. We thank you for being with us and fighting with us in the President's campaign against corruption. I, as PACC chairman, would like to restate its commitment to President Duterte's campaign promise to rid this government of graft and evildoers. We wish to remind everyone that public office is a public trust. The privilege to work in government has its conditions for continuing employment in accordance with specific laws, rules, and regulations. Let us not wait that our attention are called to be reminded of the sworn duties and obligations. We know how things operate in your agency. Now is the time to clean up. The remaining time of the President in office have been promised to be dedicated in controlling these practices of corruption in all agencies of government. Consider the PACC's program of action as a form of tokhang laban sa korupsyon under its overall Project Kasangga to be in effect immediately. PACC, under my leadership of chairman, have been empowered to ensure that the President's instructions shall be implemented. It is in this premise, upon guidance and direction of the President as he appointed me as chairman of the PACC, that we are embarking on the implementation of PACC's project Tokhang Laban sa Korupsyon. This is another version of the Tokhang. Katok Hangyo, where PACC is knocking on your sense of nationalism, putting the interest of the nation above self, and Hangyo, appealing for your loyalty to your oath of office. Project Kasangga has the following objectives. First, engage the active participation of all government officials on PRRD's anti-corruption advocacy in partnership with the PACC. Establishment of anti-corruption focal person office for coordinated, speedy detection, prosecution, and resolution of graft and corruption cases with the agency or department. Second, cascading a judge-centered anti-corruption advocacy to the lowest unit of the agency through education, seminars, and training, and renewing of our pledge of service by inking Manifesto of cooperation and the oath of honesty. Third, institutionalization of a simplified and streamlined system and processes for the reduction of corruption incidents, which includes IT-based command centers, infrastructure for joint monitoring of critical corruption from offices. PACC have no intention to be your prosecutors. We want you to be our partners against grafters. The President expects you to be cleansing your own ranks. He warned, however, that if you fail this expectation, his anti-corruption commission will do the job for you. It's either you do it or we find someone else that can have it done. But moving forward, moving forward po tayo. Wala nang lingunan sa nangyari noon. Pero, anything from this point onward, anyone engaging in graft, one strike po tayo. We will press all our powers and authority to make sure, as instructed by the President, no one gets away with this illegal activity. I urge all of you to toe the line. Please toe the line. Also, for those who wish to help in this endeavor as informants, complainants, or whistleblowers, the Ombudsman took steps to protect those who denounce acts or omissions of public officials and employees found violating the law. We also have our DOJ Witness Protection Program for you. Do not be afraid. We've had enough. It is now time for the renewal of our spirit, for our service, not for ourselves, but for our people. Let us no longer work for treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroys, and where thieves break in and steal. Let us no longer take bribes, for bribes blinds the eyes of the clear-sighted and subvert the cause of righteousness. Let us all work in the glory of the things that endures time. We seek for your commitment. We seek for your pledge of honesty. And as I said earlier, public office is a public trust. It's either you are with government or against government. Your choice. So then, let us ink the manifesto of our pledge of commitment and oath of honesty by the help of God. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman Baglica, for your message. Truly, the PACC has been a staunch partner of the national government's massive undertaking against corruption since 2017. At this juncture, may I invite you all to direct first your attention to our LED display for the visual
in graft and corruption.
prepared by the Bureau of Customs.
The Bureau of Customs is at a crossroads. The choice is between the old and tired way of doing things or the new and innovative path. The old way is a comfort zone for many, but it is prone to error, susceptible to delays, and open to corruption. The new way is challenging and difficult, but for a bureau that is aiming to give you the service that you deserve, there is simply no other way. Given this choice, we are choosing change. We are choosing transformation. For you and for the nation, isang makabagong adwana para sa matatag na ekonomiya.
Every year, we'll have a 10-point priority program. We monitor it. We make sure that we know where the implementation level is at a certain point so that we are sure that by the end of the year, na-achieve namin yung 10-point priority program na yun.
And this is very timely, actually. No face-to-face transaction, and because of the pandemic, this is really helpful and convenient for our clients and as well as the accounts management office itself.
We see to it that the day-to-day port utilization in all the ports, especially in the major ports in Manila and Batangas and Subic, are within the global standard, which is 70% port utilization.
We will continue to improve the system. We will just improve the feedback method among the stakeholders. The implementation will be correct. Maybe we'll just have to fine-tune the system now in order for us to fully utilize the potential of evaluation database as envisioned by the other customs administration who have already started adopting this international best practice.
improve and again, professionalize the training of our personnel. Diyan nakikita kasi yung diferensya ng personnel natin. They will always go back to their training.
In August of 2019, we did launch this hotline number. It invites the public to report all corruption-related matters. In fact, we have several success stories.
We are enhancing our customer service capability. So rest assured that the customer care center will continue to provide innovative and escapability for the stakeholders.
If we improve our performance, if our missions are accomplished, the Bureau of Customs will have impact to the Philippine society.
Your Bureau of Customs is on its way to becoming world-class. Aside from innovations and reforms, its leadership is committed to putting in place enduring changes to ensure integrity, excellence, and cutting-edge service for you and the nation. Abot kamay na ang isang makabagong adwana para sa matatag na ekonomiya.
Can I just add something? Sorry, Commissioner and gentlemen, I'd just like to add something. After reading my speech, well, you see, the office have received reports of fundraising activities for the purposes of election. Name dropping the names of Ma'am Sara and Senator Bongo, and giving orders allegedly to appraisers to raise funds for the presidential campaign. None of these are true. None of these are true. We know who they are, we know what they do, and we know how they do it. So we will investigate. And for those collectors and appraisers who has not yet gotten involved in this obnoxious activity. It may have been done before, but let us not do it now. Yan po ang mahigpit na utos sa atin ng ating Pangulo at ng mga taong binabanggit. Puro ho ng lolo ko lang yan, puro lang pang sarili yan. Pag nahuli po natin kayo, saan po talaga tayo. Kaya po namin ang tao. Kaya po hinihinimok namin kayo na magtulungan lang po tayo. Yung mga nangyari noon, ulitin ko lang po, yung mga nangyari noon, hindi ko na po huhukayin. Pero tawdalain tayo. And anything, any graft and corruption you do today, hindi mo talaga namin kayo pagkatuwa. So, maybe it's just proper to read what the manifesto is. This manifesto will commit ourselves, number one, free from corruption activities. Number two, that we commit to combat corruption in our own district offices. Number three, that we will cooperate with government in combating corruption. Number four, that we will remain loyal to our oaths of offices. Number five, that we will inform government through PACC of all corrupt activities that come to our knowledge. And lastly, failure to fulfill our part in this manifesto should mean voluntary resignation from our office, and may the curse of the Lord be upon us. Ladies and gentlemen, let us think this paper from our heart. Alam ko po, mahirap, pero pag hingi tayo ng tulong sa Diyos at sa Kanyang grasya, kaya po natin. Ang ending po nito, mas mataas na koleksyon as revenue para sa ating bansa. Malilinis natin ang ating Bureau ng Corruption or Perception of Corruption. Yung mga tinatrabaho natin mga ganda na ginagawa naman dito talaga sa customs ay hindi natin matatabunan ng putik. we can be proud that in this generation and in our time, we did something good, and we made an impossible become into reality. And that is because of you. So support na lang po. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Jack.
Chairperson Delegat for sharing with us the content of the Anti-Corruption Manifesto, and of course for informing our public viewers about the same. Thank you, sir. At this point forward, we shall proceed with the Anti-Corruption Manifesto signing with the Bureau of Customs, headed by Commissioner Greco, then by PACC Chairman Greco.
Chairman, if I may, aside from just signing this manifesto, allow us to make a pledge to fulfill what is contained in this manifesto. So before I sign this manifesto, may I ask all Bureau of Customs officials present here today and online to join me as we pledge to commit to the obligations that we seek to fulfill as part of this manifesto. So tayo lang po tayo lang. So repeat after me. Let us raise our right hands. We, Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner, and Assistant Commissioner,
and Deputy Commissioner,
Assistant Commissioner, for collectors and officials of the Bureau of Customs,
for collectors and officials of the Bureau of Customs,
in pursuit of the President's directive to weed out corruption,
in pursuit of the President's directive
with the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission's mandate, have jointly, voluntarily, and wholeheartedly agree to do the following without mental reservation and purpose of evasion.
Without mental reservation and purpose of evasion.
Number one, free ourselves from corruption practices, activities.
Free ourselves from corruption activities.
Number two, combat corruption in our own districts and offices.
Combat corruption in our own districts and offices.
Cooperate with our government in combating corruption.
In combating corruption.
Remain loyal to our oaths of office.
Remain loyal to our oaths of office.
Inform the government through the PACC of all corrupt activities that come to our knowledge.
Inform the government through PACC of all corrupt activities that comes to our knowledge.
Failure to fulfill our part in this manifesto should mean
failure to fulfill our part in this manifesto.
Voluntary resignation from our office.
Voluntary resignation from our office.
And may the curse of the Lord be upon us.
May the curse of the Lord be upon us.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Anti-Corruption Manifesto with the Bureau of Customs led by Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission has been signed. May I invite our officials to release and present the signed manifesto. For us to witness the success of this signing, to our virtual participants, can you please raise for a photo opportunity? Capturing in 3, 2, 1. Next page. Can we please remain presenting your manifesto? To our virtual participants, again, please raise your manifesto. Capturing 3, 2, 1. And last page. Capturing 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much to all our officials raising their manifesto. The Bureau of Customs has indeed embarked on a massive transformation program underpinned by modernization, good governance, and values transformation. The many steps that we undertook in these areas since 2018 were ultimately aimed at serving our stakeholders and the general public better. To this end, the Bureau has, in fact, already made provision in the past 2 years to make the reputation renaissance a natural outcome of its efforts. That's why we are very much honored that the first manifesto signing in history is signed by the Bureau of Customs with the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission. Once again, congratulations. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our manifesto signing this morning. We sincerely thank everyone who participated in this event, for this will not be possible without your support and cooperation. Before we formally end this event, may I invite our officials, guests, and participants to join for a photo opportunity here up front. So to our virtual participants, kindly turn on your cameras.
Okay lang ba? Tanggalin na kayo yung glasses sa mga partitions para hindi manifesto.
We would also like to greet, of course, our virtual participants via Facebook. To our acknowledged participants, thank you so much for joining us today and for showing support to the Bureau of Customs.
Backdrop.
Yes, sir.
Now may we invite our deputy commissioners and assistant commissioner to please join our Bureau of Customs Commissioner and PACC Chairperson of our deputy commissioners. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today in this very important event. This is DJ. Thank you, keep safe, and have a great day. To our guests, kindly please remain for refreshments will be served in a while. Thank you.
Ito, Jeff, iyan natin sir. Sir, pa-frame nyo na. Pa-frame natin, sir. Sa mga offices natin, paano nyo tapos yung display sa mga offices? Yes, sir.